We are here live at the Daytona International Speedway for the first duel of the AutoNation Cup Series here. This is this is the big one, really. It's the first time we've seen these cars in a racing situation here. And at a track like Daytona, it should be very, very interesting to see how this goes. On the pole here for this duel, a lot of people thought it would be an SSR car, but Luna Bennington, the 4, able to put her car on the pole for the 500 here. And, just a lot of interesting stories here. And one of the most interesting stories starts back in row 3, because that is not Jet Hawksworth in the 42 for this duel. That is Ben Crouch subbing in, as Hawksworth not cleared to race in duel number 1 after the injury they sustained in the Aaron's duel, in the Aaron's duel.
Yeah, we wish him all the best. That target number 4 car in APS, it's yet to be determined what is going to happen, who's going to drive it. But for the target number 4 in the AutoNation Cup Series, Luna Bennington, who had a career day on single car qualifying, put that car, that new Toyota Camry, on the pole for FSR. And well, she has a very nice leisurely 20 laps ahead of her.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how this goes here today. It's the first time we've seen these cars in a qualifying situation. There was some usual stuff like FSR being up towards the front, but there's also some surprises. Like the FSR cars, 3 of them in the top 10, and the kind of struggles of BPM in qualifying outside of Carter Swab. Justin Whitmer and Anthony Greenman are in duel 2, but they were 18th and 30th on time. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, this is true. Greenman. There's no bonus points, by the way. After the top 30, it is simply the fastest times. So hypothetically, if you're in the top 12 fastest times, you are already locked into this race, regardless. So it's going to make a very interesting duel. Only 2 go home for this race, so 1 from each duel, hypothetically. Yeah, we can't wait to see these cars in racing action for the first time. We'll be right back and ready for that after the command.
Drivers, start your engine.
As 22 ANCS cars take to the high banks of Daytona for the first time in race trim here. And this should be interesting here today as you see some of the cars at the back of the field. But Luna Bennington, Cameron Brennan, that's your front row for this duel here. It's going to be interesting to see because obviously Bennington's on the pole here. And Brennan is also infuriately locked in on time. So, how aggressive are we going to see racing today is the question.
I think in the first 2.5 rows, not so much, because they're locked in. Hypothetically, if you're in the top 12, obviously you're locked in on time because there's no other sort of provisional, not even a past champions provisional, because we've never driven these cars before. So, yeah, if you're someone like Peter Ondrzej, you still need to look out. But, Carter Swab and Luke Evans and that 42, amazingly, if Ben Crouch could find himself with a free ride in the Daytona 500, can ride this one easy if they want to, but we know what race drivers are like. That's almost definitely not going to be the case.
Yeah, they come for 3 and 4, bunching up here. It's a Toyota and a Ford on the front row. Luna Bennington, Cameron Brennan, then it's Carter Swab, Luke Evans, Ben Crouch, and Jacques Regel, your top 6. As pace car gets ready to turn off to pit road, we have ANCS cars racing on track for the first time, not testing, actual racing here. And we are green.
Fairly even start. Bennington now with a push from the 88.
Now, 12 trying to look to the inside there.
These cars already look so much quicker than the other cars do.
And here
comes Ben Crouch.
yeah, they're
We
already
saw
doing
really high speeds.
190.
Because we saw really high speeds in testing. How high will we see in race trim with the draft and with 22 cars in this pack? Answer is pretty clearly, well, it's very high, as Ben Crouch will lead lap 1.
Onjak's following him quite closely. Riley Spurley tube down to the inside. He's got teammate Roberto Crown Jr. right behind, sporting a slight throwback paint scheme here at Daytona.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's to good old Daytona USA colors here, as nearly 4 wide here, as that is Bulk Borger in the 74. Top 4 managed to shoot away a little bit though here.
Yeah, but I wonder if the 74 here can catch him back up in the run. And a bit of... Oh, and a car scraping the wall. I think that was either Bennington or Cameron Brennan. Brennan's falling back ever so slightly, so it may have been him. But it seems to be fairly ineffective damage, really, and cosmetic at the very worst. So these two up front now looking very comfortable early on. Just a little tandem draft going on between the Season 1 APCS champion Peter Onjak and Ben Crouch. Roberto Crown Jr. making a part-time run in the 2 for Daytona Motorsports this season. He runs now in 3rd, and it's Henry Thomas in the 62. He's just raced his way in to the APS race in 4th.
Yeah, Eli Steelwolf right behind him. There goes the 80. New colors this year for that car. Very bright with the black and the pink. Bandai Namco sponsoring this year on that race car.
So far through these 4 laps, Ben Crouch has just looked in control in a car he basically had to step into. Virtually no experience in the ANCS car coming into this race.
Well, we're nearly going to go 4 wide here for a minute.
Trying to sort this out a little bit now. First 3 single file. Might not be for long though, as that is... Well, there goes Steelwolf underneath for the lead.
There's Chris Martin's making a one-off start in the 60 for GM Performance. He's going to follow through into 2nd. A decent lineup of Chevrolets on the inside. And here comes Chris Martin to the lead.
Oh, I thought we were going to be 4 wide there for a second.
We might...
we are. Oh, Bennington.
They are. It's like
Being pretty
DeLello's trying to make
aggressive.
a run to the inside.
It's going to let
I think
Bennington's
going to get... someone might.
Wait, now I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, Bennington's going to get down in front of DeLello there.
There's Naziri Vamashko now. USARC veteran driver coming through. I believe that Bolt Borg was going to almost move him out of the way into turn 1. Brian Grigsby for Team Nippon GTR in tow now on the inside as well. This field is going to be much closer than the APS. So we're going to see a lot more shuffling, I think. That's 4 wide.
That is
don't
4
like
wide.
how
This
the
might
26 is squeezing up on the 80.
Oh,
there's contact. And there's 4 wide
Morgan
here
Moore
as
is right
well.
up the middle behind them.
Oh, there's
I don't think it's gonna
contact
work.
again. I don't like this at all. Watch out, guys.
Oh,
Jesus
Moore has
Christ.
bounced off the 80 now. I don't
They're
think
still
they're going to
4
make
wide
it
for
through
the
the
trial.
trial, but at this rate,
oh, I think they
Oh,
might
my
just
goodness.
somehow.
Fair play, guys.
somehow, some way, they made it through.
And they are very rigid in their
Here
lanes
comes
right now.
Bennington.
3 by 3 by 3 all the way through the field as no one has lost the draft at the minute. Katerina Salomonova, that's someone who needs to be inside the top 14.
Oh,
They need
boy.
the time to fall back on. It's happening again here. Hayden Lemon's going to send it
Hayden
4 wide.
Lemon.
Lemon was pretty aggressive in the APS duel, clearly showing just as much here, and this move's worked out great for him. So Bennington leading here.
Not for long.
Here comes Lemon.
the way that car was able to just to dart out and make that move very quickly, a bit more agile than the APS and the GTS cars, perhaps.
Yeah, it definitely seems the way. I mean, you're going faster though, which is why it's surprising these cars more agile.
200.
You're doing 200 miles an hour.
Here comes Shock Regel at 22 machine.
New team this year for Agel. Now he's with Orange Auto here in the top series. They've expanded up to 3 full-time cars in the ANCS, the 3 full-time cars in the APS as well. And here comes Car Swab. It's just a lot of shuffling right now though here. I will say that much.
Yeah, I think that's a product of a smaller pack and just newer cars. They're going to be closer together than the other 2 series. So, and with the nature of it being a dual race, that's just going to be how it is, I think, at the minute with the ANCS. And Yekaterina Salemanova in about 2 laps has already made her way up right through the field up into the top 5. She's going to lose that inside line advantage to Bobak Fox, being pushed by Roberto Crown Jr. Lots of Fords up front.
Yeah, I was gonna say the top 5, 3 of them right now are Fords. Well, it's the Chevy of Bobak Fox and the Dodge of Car Swab. Swab, one of your rookies in the ANCS this season. And a new 3rd full-time car for BPM.
Here comes Henry Thomas. If Bobak Fox steps out here, he does.
Oh, this might be 4 wide for the lead.
Gonna make
Brown
a
Jr.
move 4
trying to go
wide.
through.
I don't know if I like this move right now.
Look, they've got the room here. Fox looks very comfortable to just kind of occupy the middle. If the 10 has a run on the outside, we could have some trouble here. I think they're going to be okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I think they're all right now. Yeah.
There was not a lot of room there for the 44, but he made it work. Bobak Fox slotting into the outside lane as not Jet Hawksworth, sorry, Ben Crouch going to take the lead of this race with Chris Martins pushing.
As you see right here, though, all
taking it 3. Same with
3 by
Grigsby.
3. Yeah, 3 by 3 here. Grigsby trying to get to Onjack. Can't really actually close the gap, though, it seems.
No, I don't think he had the best of pushes from Grigsby, but here Onjack, an opportunity to work with his own driver, Chris Martins, in the 60. Maybe just hold back and just try and defend 3rd position in the final 9 laps here and get both him and his driver into the race.
Yeah, right now, at least, here's a big move there.
Onjack jumps out, but doesn't get under Martins. It's going to stay the same in the top 3. Now here comes Porter and Morris trying to give some help.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That was close, a bit too close for comfort, really, but Bulk Borger's going to make it work. Morris now going with his alliance teammate. But Onjack's going to have to slot back inside. Not a lot of help on the outside at the minute. And tell you what, Ben Crouch just looks so comfortable when he leads at the minute.
Yeah, it's very impressive here. This is... Sorry. You go ahead.
That 42 machine is absolutely hooked up right now, but now getting a challenge from both Onjack and Martins, getting taken 3 wide here.
Yeah, right here comes Peter Onjack for the race. Look at Zachary DeLoa as well in the black and red Dodge. But Onjack continues to lead
Going to
here.
book the high line. The run came through there from Chris Martins, but it was just never going to materialise into turn 1.
Oh boy, I was going to say, I see a lot of fanning out here. Nobody being too aggressive right now.
I think they were just biding their
6
time.
laps to go here.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting just with how tight it is. There's going to be a very small amount of DNQs. At the moment, the transfer spot last lap was occupied by Luna Bennington, which would make the transfer spot 15th, which would be Roberto Crown Jr. But that's going to change from lap to lap until the final flag falls. The Steelwolf takes the lead.
Yes, Steelwolf off of turn 2 here. Still out in front. Bennington trying to get a push from Spurley Tube. Oh, Spurley Tube's going to ditch.
Swirly 2 help from Brennan now going 3 wide.
So the double zero is going to possibly try to squeeze underneath Gutierrez 4 wide there, but thinks better of it.
As here comes Ramashko to the inside looking for the lead.
As Yanaziri Ramashko for the race leader, he's going to take it away from Steelwolf, but here comes Spurley Tube and Cameron Brennan and Luke Evans as the SSR and Daytona Motorsports train here, or at least it was until the SSR cars ditched Spurley Tube.
I thought there the 10 peaked and thought about going 4 wide, but he's Evans has thought better of it. Tension building now, big time. If we have a wreck now, the race to the yellow will be the race to the finish effectively as Carter Swab goes underneath both the 10 and the 1. Help from Daniel Selsfair in the RHR entry.
A little bit squirrely there, I saw of the... Hey, but Daniel Sells pretty much needs to be in the top 14 here of his qualifying time.
Absolutely, yeah. He needs to
certainly going home.
He needs to just hold off.
Here comes Carter Swab looking for the lead. Then Crouch back up near the front.
Carter Swab to the race lead here. Crouch, though, I Grigsby's not been able to push people. I've noticed that out to 26.
Yeah, he struggled with that. We saw with Onjack, just couldn't follow him through to the front. Maybe with a Toyota linked up in front of him, maybe they'll just work together a little bit better. But
although he can't get close still.
Yeah, Crouch's. But then again, Crouch's car just looks really fast at the moment.
Oh, Bobak Fox peeking.
4 wide. Bobak Fox trying to push through.
Oh, Grigsby squeezed a little bit.
A little close to Sells there. I think they're going to be fine here.
Yeah, they should be all right here. Sells going to cut back in line. Coming to 2 to go. Here comes Ben Crouch.
And it's now go time, and I think they realise that Ben Crouch to the inside of Carter Swab. They're both so far out. Bobak Fox here could have a huge run heading into turn 1. And at the minute on the last lap, the transfer spot was occupied on the last lap by Caden Lemon. Oh, and Fox keeping the nose down well. He's going to go make a move.
Gonna go. Martins dishes Fox, though. He's got a push from Henry Thomas in the 62.
Yeah, Bennington's just kind of riding in the back right now, so that's probably going to make it to 14th is the money spot to be in here.
And coming around to the white flag, 1 lap to go for Chris Martins, but he's got Henry Thomas hot on his bumper.
It's a lot of teams that qualify near the back up in that top 14 right now.
Yeah, look at that. The 74th Bonk Borger, the 00, sorry, of the Katerina Suleimanova. Daniel Sells as well. Yes, Sells with a good opportunity here to lock himself in. And we're going to have to find out after duel number 2 who that compromises. They're going 4 wide behind the leaders. At the moment, Chris Martins is holding them off very well into turns 3 and 4.
Chris Martins holding the inside line. Off of turn 4.
Martins. No one challenges. Chris Martins is going to win the duel at Daytona.
That's how you do it.
Transfer spot will go to Brian Grigsby. Barely.
And that is not a great sign.
For the Zero Ramashko.
No, it is not at all. we look here at the times, yeah, Chris Martin's was 39th of his time, so a dual win here. That's huge for him. Henry Thomas as well. Brandon Morris is in the show, and he was 35th on times as well. So, and Boltberg was 33rd. So yeah, so many teams that needed a good duel have had a good duel. So yeah, fair play to everyone here. Well, that was duel number 1. Very interesting race. Everyone kept it clean, and fair play to them for doing so. We'll have duel 2 up next ready for you, and then after that we can reveal who is going home in the Great American Race.
Drivers, start the engine!
Well, we are here and ready to get going here for duel number 2 for the ANCS, the AutoNation Cup Series, as the other 22 cars attempting to make this race roll off the grid and onto the racetrack here. It's Benedict Murdo on the pole here for this duel. And we saw the first duel was very much, shuffly. So it'll be interesting to see if this duel is the same or if it'll be any different.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar. I mean, that's just the nature of a smaller field. There's kind of less to do in the pack, and you kind of just you find yourself kind of copying what other people do to make sure that you don't lose the pack. In a duel like this, where if you are not in the if you've got a bad time and you fall off, you could be done for, especially if it goes green all the way, like we saw in duel number 1. But with that man on the pole for duel number 2, sorry, and his history already this speed weeks, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, because it has not been a fun or a particularly pretty speed weeks for Benedict Murdo. Won't mention the truck race. Not much you can do about that. But then, obviously, the incident with Jet Hawksworth in the APS duel. So it's been interesting speed weeks for him so far here as we get set to get going for the second ANCS duel here at Daytona.
Here we go, the pace car diving down pit road. It's Benedict Murdo the 4th on the pole. He's locked in, but no one else is. Here we go. Green flag for duel number 2.
And Murdo gets a pretty good jump out of the gates here.
Good start for Murdo here.
Or Civilian trying to dive to the inside there.
3 wide,
Now
4
Kupski's
wide.
got 3 wide,
Oh,
4 wide with
already.
Whitmer.
That's aggressive for lap 1. We went clean in the first duel.
We're going to even go 1 lap.
Oh.
Jesus, guys. They're going to make
They're
it,
gonna
I
make it,
think.
though.
Yeah. I mean, it was very close. Justin Whitmer made a very aggressive move, and he's going to lead this first lap? Nearly no.
Like Reese Kupski.
But he is now going to take the lead. But however, the number 5, Blair McKenzie, looking inside. Whitmer's moved out of the way. Already a very aggressive piece of driving there. There's the former teammate of Justin Whitmer, Ricky Freeman Jr., and his former car pushing him.
It says Anthony Greenman this year in the 15. So he's going to possibly go 4 wide on the 41 there for a second, but thinks better of it. New look this year for the 41. New look this year for the 15. New looks for a lot of people sponsorship-wise. As off of 4, it'll be Ricky Freeman Jr. to lead lap 2.
Yeah, just about over Anthony Greenman. These guys are running, another around 200 miles an hour. Very high speeds here at Daytona with these new ANCS cars. They just move so agile. It's brilliant to see.
Off it to your Greenman out in front right now, pushed by the 07 of Nicholas Santiago.
Whoa.
Aggressive move there. That was the 05 of Isaac Davis, I believe.
pushed by the 06 of Maverick McAlton, making their, I think that's their first start ever.
It is, yes.
Maybe 4 wide back there.
Cologne's trying something. I don't know if it's going to work. No, he slots back in behind his teammate. Here comes Isaac Davis with the help of rookie Maverick McAlton. Kazu Sabalenka as well, someone who's not made a start in USARC before, running their first race in the ANTS, and also someone else, the third person in a row who's making their first USARC start here in the ANTS. That's Jeffrey Finguy in the number 9 car for his own team.
Well, for Finguy here, this is get in that top 14 or go home.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's currently 44 on timing, so that's essentially not getting through in the duel is an immediate sending home.
You can see McAlton here pushing Isaac Davis away a little bit. But right now, feels calmed down a little bit from the craziness we saw in lap 1.
That 4 wide nearly? No, just a slightly disjointed pack.
Oh, no, that's not Murdo. That is Justin Whitmer. But Isaac Davis here seems pretty in control.
Yeah.
Here comes Rotfield making a dive down low.
Ooh.
Yeah, Rotfield. Oh, Morgan had a peek. Thought better of it though, but this is Roach Rotfield's first start replacing. Oh.
And that's causing. Oh, and around they go.
Oh, and catches Finguy.
Oh no, he's got to keep it rolling. 68 involved. The caution is out at Daytona.
Oh boy. And those are 2 cars that are not safe at all.
Looking like a tough break for Jeffrey Finguy here.
There's no front end damage though, so I'm going to be optimistic here and say they can maybe get that fixed up. 68, same thing there. 77 with some slight front end damage possibly.
Yeah, the 77 also is not in a safe spot either.
With that, Roach Rotfield is your leader. We're going to go straight to a replay.
You see here the 68 of Virago. Kitson just washes up and gets into the wall and kind of digs in. McAlton hits there, but the real damage comes at the expense of Jeffrey Finguy. He gets turned and backs it into the wall. He's able to keep it going, but we'll see what that team can do in terms of damage repair.
Welcome back.
Here from
you go.
Welcome back here from Daytona. As we are getting set to go back green, it'll be Roach Rotfield leading the way here at Daytona. Pace car dives off.
Oh, he's dropped it completely. That's not a great restart.
I don't know if it's going to... Oh, Zeller wants to go to the outside.
Morgan's making moves.
Yes, he is. Seth Morgan, the second, pushed by the 70. That is Daniel Voyle in the 3rd car for Toyota Gazoo Racing this year. Big opportunity for him this season, I feel like.
And I'm just checking, by the way, as it stands, obviously Finguy will be eliminated as he seems to be falling from the pack. If Sabalenka gets in the top 14 in this duel, look out for Maverick McAlton and the 77 of Kazu Sabalenka. Both picked up minor damage in that accident. They're currently driving a wounded vehicles. They could be at risk.
I was gonna say McColton seems to be able to keep up with the pack, but McColton kind of needs to be in that top 14, I would say here, because Finn Guy right now is in a very bad spot. If McColton can get in, I think that puts Barago Kitson into a bad spot. Well, if McColton and a 77 can both get in, I think. Well, that's I think
Whoa.
Davis, but whoa, we're getting sketchy already.
Big move from Awesome Billion to the inside. And Greenman now, the second car in 9 on the inside following. And these two have lost the draft. This is big for both Virago Kitson and the 9 of Jeffrey Singai.
I think at this point, they just have to hope for a big wreck here that takes out like 8, 9, 10 cars. And just squeak their way in that way. As Orson Billigan leading here.
Yeah, a driver who's garnered quite a cult following his victory at Homestead in the Truck Series at the end of last season. Currently looking very comfortable over the 3 car and the 01. Oh, and there goes the 3.
Here comes Stephen Colon for the race lead. He will easily take that away from Orson Billion.
Ooh, that was close.
Whoa.
Murdo had to move. A huge charge from the 5. Pushed by fellow Dodge 18, Justin Whitmer. Just to check, yeah, these guys are now drafting. They're doing 191. These guys are doing around 200. Huge block from the 5.
Right there. Oh boy. McColton's back in right now, and the 77 being as well. I think right now, well, what about Isaac Davis? He was worse on time than the 68 was. So it's not over yet for Kitson, but it's not really in his hands anymore is the problem.
Not at all, no. Six to go at Daytona. And if you're Jeffrey Thingo right now, you are hoping for a miracle.
He's going to need one here. He's going to need a big accident here of some sort.
They lined up 3 by 3. He might have an opportunity to if they take it 4 wide
look
again.
At Joe Zeller.
What did I just say?
The devil 4 wide down the backstretch.
Oh.
Oh, car on the wall again. It's Ben McKenzie.
McKenzie's in the fence.
Oh, they're all over the place.
Kupski's all over.
McKenzie saves it.
Hangs on.
Flips.
And we are still very much green. All cars keeping it the right way. Len McKenzie pretty much in the race. Doesn't have too much to worry about from that mishap.
Yeah, well, the guy who might have... Actually, none of those 3 have really anything to worry about either. I was going to say that 77 was able to get through that, and so was the 06 and the 05. But the 05 is still not... I don't think the 05 is in the top 14. The 05 is 13th right now. So it's still pretty tight for Isaac Davis to make this race.
Up front, Christian Vargas, I think.
Yeah, that's Christian Vargas.
Oh. Christian Vargas, and Joe Zeller and Roche Rotfield, your top 3. Disparito and Kupski make up the top 5.
Although I think the 06 and the 77 might have gotten put back to the outside. 77's way out there. That is not what that team needs at all.
Vargas still leads 3 to go at the line.
Here comes Seth Morgan, a push from Lexi Herman. Wow, a couple Toyotas lined up on the inside line there as well. Herman not a Toyota, but got in a Toyota sandwich there. I believe that's Voiles right behind her. So 77 is out right now. As is now the 06.
All cars very uniform and lined up. There goes Rotfield making his move for second. Lexi Herman's going to come in and push. There's a lot of gaps on that inside line. Right now, the transfer spot. Last lap, it was the 06 on the transfer spot. He's
The 06
fallen
is falling
back.
out of it now,
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
Is
2
the
laps to
77
go.
in right now then, or is that for 17th?
Not in
Yeah, the
Kupski.
77's on in right now.
Kupski is
So
the
right now
mark.
it'd be the,
Well, now it's Aiden Smith. Or now it's
I
Anthony
think the
Greenman.
McColton's dropping back, and McColton has the time to beat over the 77. So the 77's trying to race its way in.
Well, they're in the right lane right now. Kazri Sabalenka. They're going to go 4 wide. Or are they not?
Not quite.
Nearly.
I think McColton's losing the draft back there, though. As Christian Vargas leading, coming to the last lap here.
Here we go. White flag one more time round for Christian Vargas.
Crossover move by the 11 there. That was impressive.
Well, they're all queuing up now. They want this duel win. They want an ANCS win to start their season. Here comes Justin Whitmer, pushed by Vargas's teammate. A huge run from the 18.
77's in right now, I think.
Ooh,
Not last lap, but might be in right now. Oh,
Whitmer making a
Whitmer
move. The 3 makes a move.
Malone.
Danik Murdo pushing. Stephen Colon through the leader, nearly 4 wide back there.
Kazri Sabalenka currently is in the top 14. They are very comfortable in the top 14. Here comes Stephen Cologne off turn 4 for the first time since Homestead Miami Season 1. Stephen Cologne is going to go to victory lane.
And looking for that transfer spot. McColton's out.
McColton is out. That might be very damning of his prospects.
I believe that might be it for his prospects, even.
We'll have to run the calculations, but one thing is for sure. Jeffrey Thingite will be going home in the number 9 car. He will not be starting the Daytona 500. And how about that, Stephen Cologne? What a performance from him. A late charge from Bendik Murdo, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, great drive for him. Daytona Motorsports' first win with Ford. Their first win in a top series, really, since season 1. So, big day for them here at Daytona.
And, well, the DNQs will be showing up on your screen now. We'd like to thank you very much for joining us here at Daytona. And we will, two very different duels. But, yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you soon for the season openers of the GTS, APS, and ANCS. And until next time, goodbye.